Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MLG World Finals, live here from New Orleans. Benson at the analyst desk, joined by Jack and, of course, Maven. How are you both doing today?
I'm good.
A wild cheer from one person in the crowd.
Delicious lasagna and absolutely fantastic breadsticks. I feel great.
You feel good?
I feel good. Feeling real good.
All right, well, good to know you're feeling
Second
good.
half of games, I'm ready to go.
Yeah?
Good day one so far.
Good day one. Well, coming up next, we have Faze versus Isolation. And a lot of people may look at this game and say, oh, it's not going to be that good. It's probably going to be 3-0. Well, the last time these two teams played, Isolation actually came out on top. Jack, we're going to see something similar like that or no?
Honestly, this one's going to be interesting because Isolation already beat Optic Nation earlier today 3-1. They've had a match underneath their belt.
Yeah.
Faze, though, have warmed up. They've looked very good. You kind of think it's the team that you definitely expect to be in the finals of this tournament.
Of course.
Isolation, though, could set themselves up for possibly first place in their pool if they could take this win off Faze. A lot on the line for Isolation in this one.
Yeah. Maeve, from what you've seen so far, Faze, is this the Faze you expected to see?
Yeah.
Are they coming out just as hot as everyone anticipated? Or
do
ISO stand a chance, basically?
They're the best team here right now.
Wow.
Especially with what we've seen from Optic so far, I don't think you could even put them in the same category, at least with how they played on Friday. Faze is by far the strongest team. I'd say number 2 right now is Denial, just because of the quick work they made of Epsilon. They 3-0'd them with no issue. Faze, Denial right now, top 2 teams for me going into the weekend. But as far as this matchup, I mean, Isolation, when they beat them last time, if I remember correctly, isn't that, that's when Enable was stick. That's when they really struggled that weekend.
Yep.
That's when they placed, what, top 12 or something? Like, they had a really rough weekend. I don't think this is the same team they're going to be playing at all.
I don't know. I think this Isolation team is a team that consistently kind of get overlooked, I think is the best way possible of saying it. I think when it comes down to it, they have just mass amount of talent. They're a team in Hardpoint, can get outslayed, but still jump on the hill and get a lot of time. Their S&D play is something which excites me a lot, because I know when I spoke to Clayster after the game they played earlier on, he said, yeah, we looked at all the teams that we had to play, and we developed strategies very much like Counter-Strike in Search and Destroy to go up against them. ISO is without a doubt, in my mind at least, the best Search and Destroy team in that group.
Yeah, I mean, they're the only team, when you talk about S&D in Advanced Warfare, one of the primary complaints, just because how fast the game is. The way it plays, S&D has gotten to be so fast. It's become more of just effectively trading instead of having more strategies with smokes, stuff you would see in Ghost and Black Ops 2. It's so fast, you don't really have room for that stuff.
Right.
But of any team that has kind of broken the mold, I guess, versus other teams in that particular game mode, I mean, Jack, I'm sure Isolation's been the one to do it.
Oh, absolutely. They've been a team that can surprise many people time and time again. Will we see it again here? That's the big question.
I mean, I'm excited, man. As I said, ISO a team which consistently get underestimated. I think you can see, I mean, look at Dino right now, guys. He is getting pumped up and he is getting hyped and ready to go. ISO's going to have a long journey ahead of them, Maven. Really briefly, predictions, map number 1 in the series as a whole.
It's a 3-0. Game number 1 is going to be
brutal.
It's going to be closer than you think, maybe like a 250 to 150, but they're going to get outslayed by 25 to 30 kills.
Okay, Jack?
I think this is one that can go game 5. Look at these maps.
Really?
It's one that can go back and forth. I think Faze take it, but map 1, Detroit Hardpoint, is one that Isolation could definitely sneak off.
Okay, I think if it does go the distance to that game 5, I have Isolation taking it. But overall, I think 3-1 Team Faze. Now, over to our wonderful casters, Puckett and TP.
Thank you, Benson. I love how Benson always gives like 3 predictions. It's like, if this goes this way, game 1,
things I've ever heard of.
someone else will win.
Good old Ben.
All right, anyway. We're going into this one. I got to get your thoughts as we kick this one off, TV. You're the real expert here with us this weekend. Who you favoring?
In this one, I have to go with Faze. They look pretty darn good in their other matchup versus Vitality. But Detroit's the map where we've seen some upsets already in this tournament. It all comes down to those money hills, right? Garage, and the Garage basically leads into the next yellow hill. If you're able to take the spawns from the Garage hill, rotate that back around, and get yellow control, you're able to rack up, 80, 90, 100 seconds very, very quickly. So although getting the lead in the initial parts of the map are very important, those are the 2 hills you need to focus on, and where we always see a team come back.
And if you're looking for Isolation to take a win against Faze, who is clearly the top team in this pool, at least by pro points,
Right.
who's the key player?
I think the one person that needs to step up, for me, I think it sounds weird, but Silly. He's one of those players when I saw ISO beat Faze before that was always making crucial things happen on the map, especially in Search and Destroy. He is quite deadly with the sniper, so I think we need to see the same sort of things from him as an individual if they're going to have a chance in Faze, especially S&D for me.
You saw Havoc run the entire perimeter of the map, got 3 straight kills. Now Silly picks up 2. Dito trying to break in, but it is Faze still with control. We'll go over to Attach, and you can see Faze trailing early, but I feel like they're just getting warmed up here once again on the main
exactly.
stage.
We saw the same sort of thing on Faze on Solar versus that Vitality team. They didn't have very much control, but they're able, through purely individual gun skill, keep the score close enough. They weren't getting spawns. They didn't have any sort of control, it seemed like, and then boom, all of a sudden, one hill, they got complete control of it. They love taking advantage of those money hills, and they're quite good at it, obviously.
Havoc, best score in the game, was just melted by Clayster, and Attach holding down the garage as well. Take a look over at Silly, though. Silly trying to control this ramp. Clayster's challenging. Llama God's getting the call out. We'll see, is he able to handle? And Attach will come up, pick up 2 with the help of Clay, who's on a 3 streak. And it's been a pretty nice performance so far by Attach and Clay running together.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how they were able to break in so quickly. It seemed like ISO had that initial control, but all of a sudden, Attach was able to slide into that ambulance area. And overall, he just didn't get any gunshots on him at all. Clayster doing a great job back here at the statue, just holding these spawns. And like I said before, if you're able to hold this back area, set up those spawns for the next hill, you're going to milk a lot of time on these 2 hardpoints.
15-point differential in favor still. Isolation Esports. And Dito doing the damage outside. Let's go over to the rotation fights. The first one is going to be a little bit of a team kill. Dito on Havoc, but it doesn't matter. All blue in the kill feed until Enable is able to pick up Dito. Silly, though, locking it down inside, is going to be here first. And you look at that mini-map, Faze is just getting wiped up. Perfect rotation from Isolation.
Great job, yeah. They were able to get into that hill, got it instantly 4 dead. And although ISO didn't really have control of the spawns, when you get 4 kills like that in quick succession, you're able to spawn them basically wherever you want. They got to the back of the map quickly enough, and then you see Faze spawning over and over at that green area.
Big play from Enable, breaks in, stops the scoring, starts putting up some numbers for Faze, but their score almost doubled by their opponents in this first round of rotations. They've got to step it up in the second half. We take it over to Clayster. He's been sticking with the battle after flirting with the ASM-1 a bit. And his shot is on. You just saw the melt machine going up against Dito. Now he's going to push in, has Havoc and Llama. And Llama, the jump shots, able to take him down there. Hill, though, controlled by Attach, and Attach on that 3 streak is going to bring it within 20 points as we get to 5 minutes, 55 seconds on the clock, last hill before we restart the order.
Yeah, great job from Llama and Havoc so far. Both of them just putting up great numbers, great kill-death ratios so far in this, and that's why I think they have the lead. Detroit, obviously a close-range map. When they're able to step up like this and consistently get those intro kills, it's very easy to take out some of the slower-paced players like Clay, like Enable, that are sitting a little bit farther back. So they definitely have the better hand of Zuma and Attach right now, and if they can keep it up, they might be able to extend the lead. Dito set up very well at those crates right there. He wasn't able to pick up the gunfight win, but they had to spend so much time getting him out of that power spot in order to contest the hill.
Focus a little bit down on Llama and Havoc. Tell me a little bit about these guys. When did you first hear about these 2 players?
They just sort of rose up this year, and obviously we've seen from Havoc. He's, we like to call them S&D stars, but he's obviously held his own in respawns as well. Pretty much rising up the ranks with Dito on this sort of unknown, I would say, Isolation team. They've had very, very good results throughout this the later half of Advanced Warfare, I'd say. Had some pretty notable victories, but especially the biggest one, you have to say, is versus Faze at DC.
Taking a look at kind of the setup, you see Llama and Havoc in charge of patrolling the hills. They have Dito and Silly, the ones who are rotating out and putting the pressure on spawns. Both players did a great job in the last 30 seconds, and they've built up a comfortable lead once again. This middle Atlas, very hard to control for a full 60, and they're going to get a big chunk off the break. Will Zuma be able to hold it down? Nade comes in to clear him out. Nice placement there by Dito. Enable jumps in his position, though. 30-point advantage still in favor of Isolation Esports, who has led almost all of this game outside the first minute.
Yeah, this is a great job from ISO, and they love to play this sort of style in hardpoint. Just constant pressure on the hill and just keep racking up scores. You see consistently from them when they do take these wins in hardpoint over the top teams. It's a game where it's like 230 to 220. Those types of styles, they just try and contest and keep it close for the entire map, so spawns don't matter as much. But right now, they've been doing a much better job at holding the spawns than Faze.
Yeah, and Silly is really that player you want to give credit to for doing that. He was the first one who rotated. Then you saw his teammates going through school. He rotates back, makes sure their team isn't getting flanked. They have the better spawns throughout this full green hardpoint, and they are not letting go. Faze really up against a tough challenger here on the main stage. A bit shocking for a lot of people who haven't been following Isolation Esports throughout Season 3.
Yeah, for sure. And Faze does a great job. I think ISO a little bit over-challenged right there. Faze was just sitting outside of the hill, pre-aiming in, and they just started a challenge one at a time. Never something you really want to do. Going into the later seconds on this green hill, they need to make sure they do not let Faze get back around that hotel side and block the back statue spawn, because if so, they're going to have a tough time. They're trying to do like a half and half sort of setup, but now we see they're starting to back up and go to those garage spawns, spawning inside right now at the bottom of the ramp.
Tad's trying to break in, not going to work. Clayster peering from the window, looking for those AR players. Spots Llama. Shots in him, can't finish. Here comes the help from Zuma. Zuma's going to charge in through the front, though. He's got the bow on his back. Here comes the SMG. Stuck on the window, spots Silly, wisely backs down, looking for a little bit of help. And now Zuma trying to make the hero play. Can he get through? Stopped immediately by Silly. You said this is going to be your key man. He is leading his squad. 8 captures, 22 and 24 from Silly so far in this game. Havoc slowing down a little bit, but still the best score in the game at 27 and 23.
Yeah, definitely. That was a great play from Zuma right there. You saw how he kind of waited to challenge those gunfights, waited for his teammates to go around the back, make sure the spawn was blocked so his kills actually mattered. If he would have went right away, the kills would have just spawned back up right away with their teammates, but he waited for that first kill from Clay around the backside of the map, and then he just proceeded to go in, got the pinch set up, perfect plays from Zuma to break that garage hill.
5 seconds remain there. 9 seconds on your scoreboard. Separating these squads, and it's gonna be Faze set up. Will they be able to mount another last-minute comeback? They struggled at the start of their previous series against Vitality, closed it out very strong, and then never looked back in that best of 5. Here, though, 3 down, Enable spawning out. ISO has broken through.
And you see, look at the KDs on ISO right now. They do this time and time again. More pressure in the hill than the other team, and they always come out with one of those 1, 2, 3 pieces. We saw 3 from Dito right there to break into yellow. Getting pretty tense here in the last minute or so of the map. ISO starting to increase their lead a little bit, funneling the Faze players into this back door. Easy gunfights for ISO right now.
Llama God is inside. He will fall. Havoc trying to poke back through. Gets one. Clay had to dip out for a moment. Silly gets into support. It's going to come down to the school, and you see Havoc rotating around, trying to get the players in transition. Big kill there. Spots another one, sprinting back. Dito's going to get every last second. Faze going to have their work cut out for them. Can they hold on to the final hard point?
I won't be surprised if ISO pull out a lot of nades right here. This hill is very open. You can just simply go up to the middle street, and sure, we see it. Semtex is flying in. All they need to do is contest a little while longer. 10 seconds left until it's mathematically impossible. Attach doing his best to contest, though. Sitting in the corner, trying to keep it close. 30 seconds left. They have plenty of time to do it, but gunfights need to be won right now.
Enable gets one. Llama God pokes his head in. Attach is going to fall. Clayster, though, a big 2-piece. Takes out Silly and Llama. The nades continuing to fly, and it's going to come down to the wire. You hear the fans getting loud here in New Orleans. 6 points separate these 2 squads. The contest gets shut down. Attach and Clay taking it in the final moments. Faze is going to come back and win this unless ISO breaks in right now.
Absolutely crazy plays from the world champ duo. We see it time and time again. Faze is able to come up clutch in situations where they have no place of winning. Attach, Clay, both go in. Guns blazing, get the 4 dead instantly. They spawn so far away, able to take back that deficit they were in. 15 seconds going down with 30 left in the hill. You never expect the team to win that. Faze are showing why they're clutch and the best team in the game right now.
Isolation led that game for 8 minutes and 24 seconds. It's actually going down all the way down that last hard point.
Seriously.
That they had the lead. Faze comes back and robs it again. You saw how fired up Zuma was there. This is dangerous. Now you got Faze.
The big win.
Heated up, fired up.
Wow.
How do you stop these guys?
It's going to be tough after that. If there's one team I could say could rival Faze in S&D, it is Isolation. But after a loss like that, they had it so easily in the bag, and I hate to say so easily, but when you're set up like that, all you have to do is contest a certain amount of time. They just weren't able to do it. Went 4 dead, didn't preserve each other's lives enough, and just didn't dash around. Needed to stall out just a little while longer, but nope, weren't able to do it. Huge win, nice comeback from Faze.
Incredible finish. Faze is going to take game number 1, but this is just the start to an amazing best of 5. I got a feeling we're going the distance again, TP. We'll take a look at the numbers on our way out to commercial break.